August 20th, and we're off to the wild ass races. Crazy day, as I was saying yesterday. Crazy fucking day. Holy shit. Driving down to the fucking Canadian line now. The Canadian border, basically. You could throw a rock at the Canadian border at Luciano's. So it's a crazy inconvenience, and I know I talked about it yesterday, but fuck me to tears, you know. It's this kind of gentleman better be prepared to pay me what I'm expected to be paid. And I don't fudge, you know, I do the real thing. It's all fucking numbers. And now, I don't even have to think about fudging. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of fudging backwards. Friday he'd owe me $7,900, and I'm tempted to cap it off at $7,100 just because I have such a big heart. But I can also be a fool, you know. I can be a real fool here. You have no idea how much money this man had before he made his $8.5 million off the sale of his coal mine, you know. The man has $10 million, and I'm trying to give him a break, and I don't even know if I'm going to make it through the winter. So I got to fucking make sure the only thing is I'm trying to figure out how I want to slice this up. Do I want to charge him for the 71 now so it doesn't look so bad, and at least I'll get that, and then I can fight for the other later, you know. It's the chicken scratch effect, you know, sadly. Just me trying to make it, you know. And blessed that I have this deal, but this guy, when he asked me to plant this seed, he held the bag out the door and said, "Here, you want to shake this out there?" You know, and these holes, and like I said, these holes look kind of gradual. They're rocky, and they don't look all that deep. But boy, you take a load of dirt with this pickup, and you dump it. I dumped it in that hole, probably the size of a bathroom, a large bathroom. And fuck, that dirt that didn't cover anything. It's like, holy shit, this is going to be hole after hole after hole, dump after dump after dump, to even make a difference. So it's been a job, you know. And now this deal here, fuck, I'm busy down in Kalispell, and I find myself now going up to move the water and do the thing, and I don't want to, for the love of God, I don't want to go down there tomorrow to Kalispell. I just don't. It's been a tough fucking year, I'll tell you what. It's been a motherfucker of a year with my family. Been the saddest thing in the world, you know. And sadly what they'll do, and it's all projected. I should have known, like I said, I should have known that I was in for a real fucking ride with these assholes the minute Rita died, the minute Mark died, the minute Vicky died. Milo, he was just another cull, you know. So now it's sad, you know. It's really sad, and these guys have blind eyes. They don't see. You know, they're fucking meaner than fuck to me, but sadly, there's 4 of us. I'm the youngest, and the age is just fucking insane. The age difference, it's like when you're little. Like when I was little, when I was 4, Rita was 8. You know, when I was 7, Rita was 11. Those ages are huge. But when you're 56 and the other person's 51, there's really no difference. But now when you get older and you're 80 and the younger brother's 65, there you go back into that obvious visual reality of how different the ages are there. So what I'm saying with that is these guys just are running blind. We get older. When we get older, 5 years, Kelly will be 80, you know, and before long, there's going to be 2 of us, And I won't remember, or I mean, I won't forget what these fuckers have put me through. So here you're going to be the last guy, and you're going to be lonely, and you're going to be sad, and you're going to want me to, suddenly you're going to think I'm the greatest guy in the world, because there's nobody else to choose from. There's no one else to choose from. It's just like when they see me, Chuck will come up, and boy, he'll bring his beer, and he'll bring his, and I'm a participant too, I'm not saying that. We'll have our fun, and he loves me, and oh God, get a little buzz going, and oh, you're just the greatest person in the, oh my God. But if the likes of Jeff Haugen and Steve Haugen and Kelly and everybody were to appear, then you would chameleon out and your colors would change. Drastically would change. You wouldn't like me then. Just like Kelly. Oh, we do good. We are so great together. But you know, you get into a crowd of the Haugens, and then you gotta fucking treat me like I have 3 options of choice. They either treat me like I have full-blown Down syndrome, they treat me like I'm a 7-time felon out of Harlem, or they treat me like I'm Lonnie Marsh, drunker than a fucking pig at 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning at the Mint Bar. You know, they treat me like Kelly literally thinks I'm just dumber than a post. Kelly thinks I'm just one of the most stupid people that he's ever met in his whole life. You can see it. You know, you can see. So anyway, this is on the waning part of my season, you know. This is how my year has gone. A trademark year. You know, when I kicked Kelly out of the house, I knew that I didn't only kick Kelly out of the house, I kicked the whole family out. Because the 3 older brothers, they're tighter than a tick. And Kelly and Terry and I were really doing good, but right there, well, we just passed that turnoff where I fucked up on Chuck. I screwed up and I knew it. As Chuck and I were talking, and he said, I was just small talking him, and I said, yeah, because it just happened. I said, yeah, Kelly, and I wasn't trying to brag or anything. Fuck me, I'm just talking. I just simply talking. I said, yeah, Kelly and I and Terry went out and got some wood the other day. You know, just small talking. Fuck, I'm not a bragger. I have the lowest self-esteem in the world. I'm humble as fuck. And if it sounds like it, I don't mean for it to be, because it's a misconception as to who I am. And that's more damaging than even if I was. But I knew that I had fucked up right then severely when I told Chuck that Kelly and Terry and I went out and got wood. Because Chuck, he's got sensitive ears. You know, he's got real sensitive ears. And I thought, fuck me, I just screwed that up. It would have been better for me to tell Chuck. It would have been more healthy. And this, I've been reading up on this and watching a lot of YouTube on this. It would have been healthier for me to tell Chuck that me and Kelly and Terry just got into a bloodbath fist fight. You know, they like, when you're a person like that, you like the weak. You like the maimed. You know, if I walk through Plains hitchhiking and I had my right arm amputated and I had a cane and the whole works, then Chuck would accept me. But if I'm just doing what it takes to survive, such as living here in Eureka, driving a brand new pickup, mind you, that's a business part of the deal. That's just to keep me stable. I can't be driving a 52 fucking Plymouth. You know, I can't be breaking down every time I turn around. See, those are things Chuck wouldn't. If Chuck was hitchhiking, coming in from Paradise, heading into Plains, going to his house, and his car broke down, and he is hitchhiking, and I just happened to be driving by, I could stop, and he's my brother, and the whole fucking works, and if it meant riding in my pickup across town, Chuck would say, no, I'll hitchhike, I'll be fine. It's that weird fucking pride thing. It's that weird thing. You know, I can't even, it's like, I don't know, it's just a weird, really a strange, so that's my dynamics of my family. Wildly wildly unhealthy, you know. Terry's better at it. Terry's better at it than Kelly and Chuck. He hides it more, but yet I see it bleed through. His asshole son Steve, he always has to lowball me. Every time I see Steve and he finally breaks open and it acknowledges my presence, it's a lowball. It isn't, how you doing? God, good to see you. No. It's a lowball. He's got to lowball me. He's got to say something rude and snide to me, you know. And so I see that there, and then I see it through his through the pianist, I call him, Turner. Steve wanted a Montana Grizzly, you know, as a son, and he got a little pianist. It's kind of funny. Carla and I went to Vicky's funeral, and we were there together, and goddamn, we were standing there, or we were sitting there, and you know how you kind of, you know, during a funeral, you're jiggling your change in your pocket, and you're just kind of looking around at people you haven't seen for a long time. And I remember I think it was Mark's funeral. Shit, I was standing there talking to John Fowler and telling him something about, I forgot what I was telling him, a specific story about like Glacier. And I could see through my peripheral vision, that Nardi was coming towards us. So what I did there is I backed up on the story so Nardi could be involved, you know, because that's what you do, you know. Nardi just came up, and here I am knee deep in this conversation, so I paused, and it was a worthy story, so I backed up and I briefed Nardi what I was telling him, so Nardi could hear this, probably the grizzly bear story. And that's what you do. Well, here I am sitting there with Carla, and oh my frickin' God, there's frickin' Virgil. I couldn't believe it. Having coffee and donuts at Vicky's reception after the funeral. There goddamn is Virgil, and I haven't seen him for years. So I happened to be standing, actually. So I just kind of did what Nardi did. I just kind of walked over there. I didn't interrupt. I just, I kind of looked around like I wasn't rudely waiting to butt in. But the minute I walked up there, that fucking Turner took his hand and he waved goodbye to me. He says, "Bye-bye, Lynn. See ya. Bye-bye, Lynn. See ya." And those two were talking about small talk bullshit. You know, oh God, no, it's been great. We had fun. We got up here about 9. It wasn't like some private conversation. So you see, that tells me that the leak is there with Terry. It leaks through how people really feel about me. Older people are educated enough to not make it obvious. Like Kyle. The 3 reunions ago, I went up there, and me being me, I got up there really frickin' early. I mean, it was like 10 to 9. I think it was 9:15 in the morning, and the event wasn't going to start till noon. So, and that's how I am, though. I get up early and I roll. I'm not going to sit around. I'm ready. I'm going. And I know he's up, and it's great anticipation. Terry would have been happy as a fuck to see me if it would have been just Terry and I. Well, I get up there, and here it is 10 to fucking 9 in the morning, and they didn't have really anything at all to do. The fog is still on the lake, and it's beautiful, and it's 10 to 9, and I get out of my pickup and I have my coffee, and I thought we could at least just say hi, how you doing, and they're on their way up to the Love Shack. So I took my coffee and I just kind of went up with them, and they're looking for something in the Love Shack. They weren't going to be interrupted. It was kind of a funny thing. They were busy. They had a thing going. And So I thought, well, I'll just have a couple sips of coffee and look out at the beautiful lake. And I heard Kyle in the Love Shack say to Terry, Dad, look, he's just standing there. He's just standing there. And you know what that told me right there? It just told me that's how these people feel about me, you know? They all treat me like shit. Some cover it up better than others. But yeah, it's a piece of shit. So they're in for a rough ride, no doubt, you know. I'll never let any of these motherfuckers live it down. I'm the fellow that's never done anything wrong to anybody, you know, but yet I'm so easy to be hated. So, anyway, that's my spiel. I'm rolling on to Luciano's. I'm near the Canadian border now. Jesus Christ. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it for now. Okay? You have a good day, and ta-ta for now. August 20th, 2026.